boogies 'cause I'm off to the hole in the road. I'm walking off school and I'm off to the city, watching telly all night and I'm not looking pretty. I got this job downtown, selling knocked off ladies watches for £1. For a really dodgy man that I met in a dodgy cafe. You know he said to me, the girl who saw me yesterday wasn't selling me very carefully. Police came along and took her and all my watches away. So if you see some coppers, you grab my stuff and leg it, boy, right away. I'll be in the cafe. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way through life. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way through life. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way. So it's been a few hours and I haven't sold enough for my bus fare home. Street sell is pretty tough, so I turn on the charm for the lunchtime rush with a smile and a wiggle on my schoolboy touch. So the charm is working in the underground. There's a crowd of men and women gather round, and the watches they are going, the money is a flowing. Think I'll take a little extra, stick it in my pocket, spend you later. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way through life. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way through life. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way. I haven't sold a watch for an hour and I'm dying for a slash. I've had enough of this, so I'm off for a piss. Then a quick walk back round to the cafe, sitting at his table drinking tea.
Can you hear me?
Suspiciously, and with a glance at the watch he says,
I can't hear you. Nothing at all. Absolutely fucking nothing.
I said I'd come back down on Friday, and to that he said okay.
No fucking sound whatsoever. No sound.
I nipped down to Castle Market where
for fuck's sake. Listen, you carry on. I'm going to start. I'm going to restart. See if that's. All right, mate. You carry on. All right. Everybody, welcome to Raconteurs News. Here's Jimmy. I can't hear anybody or anything, so I'm going to turn off and come back on. You carry on, Jimmy.
Okay, then, I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. I'm still hearing music. Just getting the stuff. Right, that's it. I think it's over. I didn't have to touch it, but I found where the tune was. So now I know where the background noises are. So I'm not sure what's going on with Jason's setup. I was hearing him fine. He's obviously he can't hear me. He probably couldn't hear the background music either. Yeah, Paula, I went for an old sort of like TV look now tonight. You know, you can see those little. They almost look like little sperms swimming around my head there at the minute. So went for that old sort of like TV look, black and white days. Why not? It's amazing what this software can do sometimes. So, and so I'll take a moment now to, while we're waiting for Jay to get back, I'll see who I have forgotten to say hello to in the chat. Like, chat's been going on quite busy. So I said hello to Miss Cara, Spanish, Paula, JJ, Tony, Colonel, Kitty, Uni's in the house. Wow. No grandma tonight, obviously. And that was a real marathon I was on there at the weekend with uni. Bloody call went on for about 6 or 7 hours. Holy crap, I'm going to have to be more careful in future what I join in. That's way too long. I'm getting too old for that uni. So I've got to say hello to Matthew. And 462904 is in the house. It's almost a binary number, that, except for it's other than ones and zeros. And let's see if there's anybody I've forgotten. Doesn't look like it. I think we're catching on. Chris is in the house. So, yeah, uni. That was crazy. That long session that we done there. What was it? Saturday night. It was so long. My head is so muddled from it. I don't even know what day it was anymore. So first we thought his guest wasn't going to be on, so I decided to join him and keep him company for an hour or two. And then I wasn't planning on staying on for 6 hours though. But he did. He had a great guest on talking about 9/11 and uni's favorite topic. Put it that way. So it was all right. It was interesting. He was quite an interesting guy. I can't remember what his name was, Thermal Detonator or something like that. Like, I can't remember his real name, but he did give it, like, so. But he was very, very knowledgeable, no bullshit. Like, he stayed well away from all the crazy conspiracy stories, and he wasn't he didn't go too hard. He went fairly hard too on the likes of your Judy Woodses and anyone who's sort of like spouting too much crazy crap. Because like that whole 9/11 truth movement is full of it. It's like anyway, Jay, welcome back. I was just holding the fort there while you were away, and they were commenting on my old black and white vibe I've got going on tonight.
Ah, yeah, you're looking really, really 1940s, 50s, that sort of thing. But yeah, good luck for you, Jim. Yeah, good luck. The less we can see of you, I think the better.
Thanks.
I'm only kidding, mate.
I won't disagree with that. I really wouldn't.
Listen, I really do apologise. I fuck knows what's been going on. My laptop just weren't working, and now I've been able to get it to work. I couldn't hear anything. I could see you, and I could hear you. Sorry, not hear you, but I could see you, and we're all there. It's just that we're gone.
But my mic was off for a split second, but you should have I got it switched on in time for you to notice that it might have been off. Plus, I was hearing you fine. There was no problems, and I even had to mute your mic because I don't know whether you were shouting at the dog or whatever. But
we're shouting at dog at one bit. Yeah. You might have heard, no, I don't know if.
Don't worry, I muted you just in time.
He's come back in. Oh, he's come back in. He's all right. Cause I chucked him out because he was waiting at the door, and I'm like, "Oh, get out! Go on, never." So he's back in there anyway.
I thought you were going to kill him.
How are you, mate? Anyway.
Not too bad. A little bit under the weather last couple of days. A bit of a pain in my back and migraines, but apart from that, keeping the head above water. And that's what more can you do? It's not too often I do have off days, but last couple of days have been two of the odd ones.
Yeah. We get them every now and again, don't we? No matter what you do, and no matter how well you are, you do get them days when you're feeling a little bit off, a little bit, and you get that. So we feel better soon anyway, Jimmy, before end of the show.
Yeah, well, I was half tempted to maybe ring in sick tonight, but I said, I was already ready to go, and it's yesterday was much worse, so I'm not as bad today now. Doing a few stretches and stuff to try and get my back into its correct posture, correct shape, And I do have problems with my back, it kind of relates back to an old injury from a car accident a few years back. But it's but I do forget about it. I'd be grand if I would just keep up my exercises every day. But I'm perennially lazy, So once I usually get my back fixed, that's it. I forget about it, and next thing you know, I'm in a hoop again. So it's that's the way it goes.
Yeah, but if you're going to phone in sick, like Lion Share just said, you need to bring a note as well. From your parents. Tell me what's going on. I need to know what's going on. I need to know what's going on just in case you need to be vaccinated or anything like that. Oh dear me, is that our second strike? I don't know. Who cares? But anyway, we're getting on with it. I've bought raconteursnews.com and I bought raconteursnews.co.uk. So I just need to get it. Just been so fucking busy. It's unbelievable. That's the past few days.
I'm the same. I didn't even get back to the website design because I want to change the theme. But very, very same. Like really, really busy, and it's just hard to fit it all in at the moment, But we'll get on top of it like over the next week or two. I'll probably need some login information so they can set up the records correctly for.
I will do that. I'll say. In fact, what I'll do is I'll send everything that I've got to you, and then you can then sort that out. But we can do that in a thing where people don't need to listen to us talking about. This is just it's housekeeping stuff. So
exactly.
Let's say hello to the people in the chat room tonight. Good evening, Lion's Share, Mahat Malevolence, JJ, So South, Uni Black Sister. I've promised him he'll come on in the second hour, so Uni will be on in the second hour. Good stuff he's been doing the last few days and weeks and what have you. He's got some. He's been really making his mark, hasn't he, Uni? How long did you last on the 7-hour marathon that he had?
6 hours.
Fucking hell, man! You fucking know what you're ill.
Never again. I'm not going to feel sorry for Uni mid-show because he's all alone. I'm going to sit back and let Robert join instead. Fuck that.
Good evening to Paula as well. Mahat Malevolence, Mascara Snake, Tony's in there as well. Non-violent extremist. I suppose Dinny will be there somewhere, and Uni, Annette Robot, and 462904, Kitty 21, Kernow, Lion Share, Mascara Snake. If I've not said your name, Matt Cowdy as well as Donny. If I've not said your name, and Spanish Chicken as well, Chris Partridge, and Robert, of course, who's there. Freedom UK will be coming on last 20 minutes, tell us what's going on his show. Gas Star Bum, what have you. Listen, tonight I wanted to talk. I've been dying really to talk about Alex Belfield since he got locked up. Now I don't know if you've ever what you've seen of Alex Belfield. Go on, tell us what you've seen.
I'll tell you what I know up till now, because I got a really good insight from Robert on Friday night. So I got his whole history, his history with BBC, his history of calling them out, and so I got a fairly decent background. But there's no harm revisiting it because he's still in the news cycle. So please tell us more.
Well, just the thing is that I've right from the very start, I watched a couple of Alex Belfield things at the start, and I could see that it would becoming one of them people that sort of sticks their head above the parapet in order to get it blown off, if you know what I mean. He did that right from start. Now, this is a guy who was raising money because he said that he were going to be suing people in BBC, Jeremy Vine, that sort of thing. And I think he got about 350,000 quid. And in that time, when he went to court, he offered no defence. So 350,000 quid buys no defence whatsoever. But in the time between him starting the Voice of Reason, all that fucking shit, he managed to go on like a ton of holidays. He was flying first class. He went to Las Vegas at least 3 times that I know of. Once he went on a first class holiday to fucking somewhere in Spain, somewhere on the continent and somewhere. So this guy were asking for money for his defense against something that was supposedly a big conspiracy against him. And when he goes to court, he offers no defense. I mean, this is just a fucking prat. He's just a complete and utter prat. And of course, he gets 5.5 years, which is 66 months. and he's only got to serve half of that, which is 33 months. So
what's the normal remission in English prison system?
If the sentence is over 4 years, it's half. If it's under 4 years, it was anyway. Back when I was studying law, it was a third, but it's half if it's over four years, and I think it's 4 years, I think. But so he's got over 4 years, so he's going to have to serve half 66 months, and he's going to serve 33. Now, look, I've seen a lot of people that have said, "Oh, well, this is telling us and sending out a message." No, it was just a prick. He was just a prick from the very fucking start. He were a prick. He's look, I'm not hating anybody. I don't hate him, right? I just think that he was what he did is he was one of them people that were in this lovey world and this actor and this show business world, and he thought that he could be different to everyone else. You know what I mean? He thought that it could be completely different and he could do it, and he could be what he wanted, and that would be okay. But it didn't turn out like that. And I didn't like him from start. Not from start. No, sorry, I won't say from start, because from start I watched him a couple of times, and the stuff that he said was just crap. It was just utter fucking nonsense. And and this is a guy as well who was supposed to be like anti-establishment and everything. When Queen died, he's fucking Majesty and all this fucking shit, all that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just utter bollocks. But he thought that he were going to get a fair trial. So there's his first naive point. He thought he were going to get a fair trial, which he might well have done, but I don't know. But if you're thinking you're going to get a fair trial, you're not going to get a fair trial. Or if there's an opportunity for the trial not to be fair, it will. He's a narcissist. Yeah, you're right, Blind Chair. Narcissist. He was a narcissist.
Robert was telling me last Friday that Belfield had a history of being in court and defending himself. So it wasn't like he could be so naive like that. He didn't know something about the court system. What's your knowledge of the previous cases that he defended himself in the court system?
Well, he defended himself, but he offered no defense. What he did, from what I can gather, I've read the judge's summing up, and I've also read the sentencing guidelines as well, which he adhered to. But I will say, I don't think the sentencing guidelines are fair. For the punishment doesn't fit the crime. I don't think. In my personal opinion, the punishment 5.5 years doesn't fit the crime. However, if you put yourself into that situation, and like somebody's pointed out in the chat room, Ian Lee, who, if you remember, Ian Lee was on the 8 o'clock show. He was on the 8 o'clock show, 11 o'clock show, years ago, and that's where Ricky Gervais started. So Ian Lee, I wouldn't have said was some snowflake or other, and he was really upset about what had been going on with him, what had happened to him. And it looks like this Alex Belfield chap was a real fucking narcissist, a proper narcissist. And the stuff that, especially to the guy who was, he was a cameraman. He weren't even really in show business. He was just a cameraman, I think, or a camera operator, or whatever they call them these days. And he'd had horrendous abuse from this guy, horrendous abuse. So this guy's coming on and he's saying one thing. So everyone's going, oh, yeah, Alex Belfield, this is what they do. You've got to watch this. You've got to watch for this. People that want your help and you think you're doing something because you're helping them by giving them money, donating them money. You're not. You're not doing fucking anything. You're not doing anything. If you want to help somebody, help them in a proper, real, tangible way, rather than just blindly giving these fucking idiots money that are telling you something, telling you one thing, and then in reality, it's a completely different thing. You know, this Alex Belfield was a serial stalker. And not only that, he was... well, I don't know. He
was stalking with electronic devices as well, I believe.
Yeah, that's what he were doing it with. Yeah. It was sorry, he were using whenever anybody got into his way who blocked him or anything like that, he'd just get a different device and use a different device. So he could continue his stalking. So this guy's not fucking... look, I've got people that I've got beef with. I've had beef with on this show. I've had people on this show that I've had fucking beef with. I've had beef with fucking Mark Steele, and I've had beef with Lee Garrett, and I've had beef with fucking tons of fucking people, innumerable people. But what I don't do is once we've had beef on this show, that's it. It's gone. It's done for me. It's done. I don't continue to stalk them. I don't continue to get in touch with them. I don't continue to try to get their attention, which is what he's trying to do. And he's just fucking dumb me head in. People
It's a good point, though. It's like there has to come a time when you sort of like have to realize that like you're flogging a dead horse here, and you can say what you like to whoever it is, X, Y, Z. You're not going to change their mind. You're not going to achieve anything except deplete your energy and waste your time. You know. So some people, like you said, the narcissist, he thrive on it. Like he thrive on that energy. Like
Paula just said Jekyll and Hyde, Belfield. Yeah, he were Jekyll and Hyde. He was, well, I wouldn't say Jekyll and Hyde. He were more Kenneth Williams and Jimmy Savile rolled into one, I think.
Good God.
Because, he wouldn't leave out alone. Look, I'm not casting aspersions on any of his personal things, his personal life at all. But what I'm saying is that this guy came from mainstream media. He knew exactly what he was doing. He fucking rinsed everybody. And then he gets locked up for 5 years without offering a defense. Now, I think that people should take that as a lesson as to who you give money to. You're giving money to this guy just so that he could go to Las Vegas a couple of times before he went to prison. Because he knew it. He must have known he was going to prison. He must have known he was going to prison. So, you fucking doing it. I mean, what a piece of shit. And I understand, right? I understand that there are graver offences that have more lenient sentences. But what I will say is just because a sentence is more lenient than a graver offence, it doesn't mean that sentence is not justified. Whereas, for example, somebody, not that I know, but somebody that I know of, were convicted of having indecent images of children this last week, I think it were, and got a suspended sentence. Now, people might think that's unjust, and I think it's unjust. I think that he should have gone to prison. That nonce should have gone to prison for as long as Alex Belfield, if not longer. But that's just the sentencing guide. You know what you're dealing with, don't you? That's the things. The sentencing guidelines for Alex Belfield and the sentencing guidelines for people who've got indecent images of children on the computer are completely different. It's two completely different things. And I think to compare two different offences and then to say, well, that offence is worse, so that deserves more, I agree with, but it doesn't mean to say that this offence needs any less punishment. Do you know what I mean? So I do agree that people that have got these indecent images of children, they should get more prison time than the offences that Alex Belfield committed. But those are the guidelines. So it's the system you got a problem with. It's not the judge. I mean, the judge will go in, but if you read the judge's notes, the judge was going by everything that was in the guidelines, starting off at 2 years and 6 months for each offence.
There was, I think if Roberts explained it right the last day, there was 7 counts. So does that mean that there were 7 individuals who brought a collective case against him, like were 7 charges from 7 different individuals? Any idea about that part of it?
Well, there were I think there were 8 individuals altogether. And I think he was found not guilty on some of them, and found. I think there were 4 main offences, weren't there? The 4 main victims that he were found guilty of harassing and stalking. And those, if you've read the victim impact statement of the guy that was, I think he was called Hewis or something. I think his name's Hewis. But he was a cameraman, and he'd sort of got involved because by accident, really, somebody had mentioned his name in something, and Alex Belfield copped onto that, found this guy out, and then started fucking giving him shit. And not only were he was stalking him, but he was stalking his wife and, you know, and his family and stuff like that.
Right,
I mean, that's just fucking well out of order. Well out of order.
Yeah, so obviously the judge took all of this into consideration and sort of like came to the conclusion, I'm dealing with a sicko here and someone who's potentially dangerous.
Yeah, very dangerous, very dangerous. I mean, that the guy Hewis, he said that he came that close to committing suicide over it. So that's the impact that you have. That's the impact that you have when you're doing this sort of thing. So look, I'm sure I mentioned it. Loads of times I've said that Alex Belfield is the fucking the Kenneth Williams of the alt media, and that's what he were. And it was really, it became something that it shouldn't have become. If he'd have been able to keep it within the confines, he might have been able to do some good, but he couldn't, and he kept on. He got this egotistical thing, whereas I'm right, I know I'm right, I'm going to keep on, I'm going to keep on. Even Jeremy Vine, I don't feel sorry for Jeremy Vine, fucking hell, no chance. But, you know, with such a high-profile person, you wonder then why the beast, when it gets you in its fucking mouth, which it did, it got him in its mouth. The beast got him in its mouth. It had these charges against him. We had people that were prepared to make statements and go to court and give evidence against him. When the beast got him into its mouth, it didn't let go. And that's what it's not going to do. This is what you've got to remember. You're going to be made an example of. You're going to be made an example of. And 5 years and 6 months, I don't think Alex Belfield, if he weren't Alex Belfield, and had not been going, Nana Munchushi, and then fucking went with these fucking feather boas on and silly fucking hats, and it just became a cunt of a thing. It's taking piss. When you take piss, they're going to take piss back. That's why he got 5 years and 6 months and not some suspended sentence, which I think he thought he were going to get.
Yeah, and plus the money laundering operation behind the scenes then, because obviously it sounds like it was a fairly extensive campaign of funding for this particular case. Would that be correct?
Oh, fucking 350 grand he got.
Oh.
350 grand he got to defend himself from donations. 350 grand and then offered no defence. Defended himself, but offered no defence.
Because there was no defence.
Well, no, he obviously didn't have a defence.
No.
But, you know, he's telling people he's got a defence and that, you know, I'm going to get my time in court. I'm going to do this. And how many people have you heard say that? I'm going to get my time in court. I'll get my time in court and I'll do this and I'll do that. You won't do anything. You're fucking fighting the beast, right? You are fighting the beast. Pick your battles. You choose your battles carefully. Fucking Gosdall on my thing then. You choose your battles carefully. What you do is you don't start fucking, if the beast comes at you, right? What you don't do is you start poking it with sticks, which is what he was doing. He was poking it with sticks. That's what he was doing. He got the fucking beast. He got the BBC. He got the media and the system and all this shit. And he got it in his things. And then he starts poking it with a fucking stick. And it's going to fucking bite you back. And it ate him right up. And this is what we need to do. We've seen it. We've seen it with Alex Jones. And people are going, oh, yeah, well, this system telling other people not to do it. Yeah, you're right, telling fucking other people not to do it. Just don't do it. It's just a complete and utter waste of time. It's counterproductive. He's lost at least 2.5 years of his life. That's 3 Christmases he's going to be in prison. This guy, who's as fucking camp as Christmas, is going to be in prison for Christmas. Although, does he like it? I don't know. He might have even fucking, you know, he might have even wanted to go there, but
that's what I'm wondering. Like, you know, by offering no defense at all, like, you know, you're asking for trouble in a sense. You know, you'd at least sort of like throw yourself at the mercy of the court and say, "I was a fool. I was stupid. Don't know what I was doing. I was having a drink on such and such a night." You know, even the common man, the street, knows to do that. You know, it's like, anyway, actually, what more can you say about it? That's a lot more. I don't. After the chat with Robert Friday, I was in 2 minds about the chap. Like, you know, he sounded like half decent, but after hearing the story from another point of view, another angle, and wow, no, he sounds like someone I don't want to have anything got to do with, man, or don't want to know. Definitely don't donate to him anyway. That's for sure.
Yeah. Lion's Share says, is Jimmy's camera in the 1940s, or is Jimmy able to time travel broadcast? It's the first ever time travel broadcast brought to you by Raconteurs News.
Yeah, we're back in the Stone Age here in Ireland. These Putin sanctions, they're killing us.
Oh, they're terrible, aren't they?
Oh, honest to God.
Oh, fucking Putin sandals.
Have they got a in-colour tax?
Yeah, they've got an in-colour tax, haven't they? So you can't be in colour because you have to pay tax. Kernow said he paid his house off in 6 months. Well, that's not quite true. It's not true. He did say that on his thing, but he didn't. He didn't pay his house off. I know that for a fact. I read the transcript of the court, and his house is mortgaged. So still, so the 350 grand. Look, he's going to get people suing him, innit? He's got 350 grand. He's going to get people suing him. The people that were the victims in this case, they're going to be suing him. There are going to be people who are going to be suing him in a lower court who weren't involved in the criminal case, but in a civil case, the burden of proof is much lower, so they don't need to prove as much. I think it's just what do they call it?
Well, especially now that he's already convicted on those particular charges, I assume a civil case would be quite smooth sailing for whoever took it.
Yeah, but even for the people that weren't in the criminal case could still sue because now he's got that, he's got that conviction, and the burden of proof is much lower in a civil matter, which means that they're going to get a remedy a lot easier, and he's not going to be able to really put on much defense when his assets have been frozen, because obviously they're the things that are in place that the people are suing him for. So they're going to be frozen. So he's not going to be able to get any legal advice. He's just completely done it the wrong way round. He's just a fucking
he should be called Bellend instead of Belfield.
Well, he is a fucking bellend, isn't he? Wishfix says Belfield will be appearing on Sean Atwood's channel when he gets out. Yeah, exactly. They fucking belong together, them two cunts. Fucking Sean Atwood and Alex fucking Belfield. Sorry, I'm on a bit or a one tonight.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. A little bit of emotion. It's always
well,
good.
Not really emotion, just on one. I don't do emotion unless unless I'm having a poo, which we're about 5 minutes before I we're on air. But Ian Lee should go for it. Ian Lee will go for it. Kernow says, I'm going to keep flicking shit at Belfield wherever I can. So Kernow might be in prison. Good evening in prison there, if you are in prison. Jimmy is actually broadcasting from the 21st of July, 1969. Was that the day that they were pretending to go to the moon?
It was near enough the day I was born.
That's Spanish chicken. Anyway, I've had my fucking Belfield rant. I've been waiting for a few days to have my Belfield rant.
I'm delighted to hear that one, Jay, because that's the part of the story that I needed to hear. So Great, brilliant. So
Yeah. He's a wrong un. Just that. That's all you need to know. He's a wrong un. I said that before, though. I've said it
yeah,
before. They're all wrong uns. The ones
you
that are
don't
wrong
get
uns,
the
I
word.
always call out as wrong uns, and they always get found out as wrong uns. The only one that I said were a wrong un that never got found out as a wrong un were Ian Crane.
Oh right, yeah. Don't know a whole lot about him. I used to follow some of his stuff years ago. Like interesting, like, but just like more of the same. More of the same bullshit. Like David Icke type rhetoric.
Well, it's the same thing, right? This is what Alex Belfield wanted to be. He wanted to be, look at me, everybody. I am here. I am Alex Belfield.
We're looking now.
and everyone's looking now and thinking, yeah, well, people were looking and thinking, well, we should have Alex Belfield. Look at all that. He's got his fucking thing around him, and he don't seem to mind, all the stuff. But
I'm just trying to imagine all his groupies now who probably still are flabbergasted, and with what's happened to the poor guy. And they're obviously sort of all planning now in the background to mount a rescue mission and break him out of jail.
Fucking wouldn't surprise me. You see, the thing is, right, is that he could have been so much smarter. You've got to be smart in this game, right? You can't be going and accusing people of this and that, and telling people. See, this is the thing: is he was telling people one thing and he was doing another, right? So he was telling people one thing and he was doing another. I just understand. I understand it, right? Because I've been at this for nearly 20 years. I've been at this, not this fucking show, but, researching and reading stuff and finding out different things. And I've been at this for 20 years. Now, I've seen them all come along, I've seen all these pretenders come along. They all make the same mistake. They all go and then they get fucked up one way or other, whether it's they get fucked up by authorities or they get fucked up by doing something that people don't approve of, or, they get fucked up some way. But what they all want is they all want attention. And, well, that's what I'm fucking hoping to, not get from here, really. Just talking. That's what we need to talk. We need to do. We need to talk about stuff. Send more money, says JJ. Yeah.
Well, we used to do that. Yeah, I've been at this a long time as well, too, Jay. Like yourself, you've probably been exposed to just about every speaker on every topic that you could possibly name. Up to and including 9/11, of course, and everything that happened afterwards in the following 20 years. It's like, I understand where you're coming from. You've seen them all rise to the top, and then a lot of them crash to the bottom.
No, they all crash to the bottom. The only ones that don't crash to the bottom, David Icke.
David Wilcox.
Fucking David Wilcox did crash to the bottom, though, didn't he?
Did he?
Fucking hell. Jesus Christ, David Wilcox.
Yeah, he's just got so much
crash.
He's still got so much support out there. It doesn't look like he's crashed that fucking far, It's like I was saying, like with the Alex Belfield fan club, the ones who were involved in the scene will never ever want to see otherwise. Will never see it any differently. So do they crash? Really?
Yeah,
Charlie Ward.
Right, yeah.
Charlie Ward is another one. Everybody knows what a piece of shit he is, but yet, he's got this hard fucking core following on his chat. Week in, week out, you get several episodes of the same bullshit lies, and everybody's just open to any sort of bullshit. Keep holding on to that hopium that their guru is feeding them. Because the likes of these never really crash, because you'll never convince the people who are sort of totally sold into the scam to admit that they were scammed, and that's just the bottom line,
Yeah. Anyway, let's fucking move on from Alex Belfield and give our attention to somebody who, well, you might not deserve it. You might not deserve your attention, but he's getting my attention. Super Leeds. I just want to give everyone an update on Super Leeds. I went to see him last Wednesday. in Huddersfield Royal Infirmary, and he's not very well. He really isn't very well, but there was an improvement. It's because what I did is I went up to Huddersfield to picked his missus up, and we went to the hospital and went to see him. And then she said when we were coming back, she said he's really perked up a lot. And I got, we were in there with him, and we spent an hour with him, and he were being his normal fucking belligerent super lead self and fucking moaning about. In fact, I'm not going to say the words because I really don't want this fucking channel to get banned. But he said a really fucking bad word about one of the nurses and fucking while she were in earshot, and that were a bit of the old belligerent leads rather than him being in, because he were just laid there. But the good thing is, his liver's completely fucked, and it's not going to improve. But the good thing, I'm going to get to the good thing now. Stop listening from other room and listening to our fucking conversation. Hell, fire women, eh? Good thing is his liver was fucked, but the good thing is he weren't jaundiced at all. That's what I was trying to get to, right? His eyes weren't yellow and whites, and he weren't jaundiced in himself. So fucking hell, I can't believe you know. I feel like Alex Belfield. Oh, Tarquin, come and fucking shove a butt plug up my arse. So I went to see him. I sat with him for a couple of hours, him and his missus, and we had a good talk. And he's not really very compass, but he was a lot livelier after I'd been. So hopefully that would be would make him better. And he's still here. He's still going. But the thing is on what day was it? It's Friday. On Friday, I went to see him Wednesday. On Friday, I got a message from his missus to say that he'd tested positive for the old, the flu.
Really? Interesting.
COVID. He tested positive for COVID, and everybody else had tested positive for COVID. And then they said to me, if you want to test yourself, you might want to test yourself to see if you've got COVID. I thought, fuck that, I'm not testing myself with that. And I feel fine anyway. But he's got COVID. So I did say to her earlier on, I did send her a message earlier on to say that to ask how we were and if there were any change and what have you. And now, because he's got COVID, he can't have any fucking visitors till Sunday because he's got to isolate. And he's threatening to come home. Which
coming back to himself then.
The thing is, he wouldn't survive without oxygen, so he wouldn't get home. But he's threatening to do it. So anyway, she's given me a phone number for Warden. I'm going to ring him tomorrow and to make sure he don't go home. Although I'm a bit torn about being at home and being at, in hospital with the state that he's in. But since he's been in hospital, he said, "Oh fucking hell, I can't believe this. This is my daughter. I'll bet you."
There's never a dull moment here. Never a dull moment.
Hang on, just wait a minute. This is my daughter. I rang her up earlier on. She says, "I'll ring you back tonight, Dad." Really? Hey, babe.
Hello, you alright?
Yes, you're live on my show now because I'm doing it. I'm 44 minutes in. What do you want to say to everybody?
Hello, this is Jason's daughter.
Hiya, Jason's daughter.
What's your name?
Emmy Owens.
Emmy. Hi, Emmy.
There you go. So what do you want to say to your dad while I'm live on air?
I don't know. No, we can phone recording, Dad. I'll leave it to your show.
Yeah. Probably best. Probably for best.
Yeah, alright.
Okay, love.
Alright, love you.
Say bye-bye to everyone's raccoon, to all the raccoons.
Bye, raccoons.
There you go. That's my daughter. Thanks very much. I'll speak to you tomorrow, baby.
Alright.
All right. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
There you go.
How cute. Getting a call from getting a call from the whippersnappers.
Yes, she's only 25.
Wow. Hey, nice to hear her. You know, this is a real family show, isn't it? You
It's a
wouldn't know
proper
what's going
family
on.
show, isn't it?
Yeah.
My wife's behind me. There.
Yeah. Watson is probably around lurking.
Oh, Watson's he's over there. So we're all cool. What were we talking about before she came on?
Oh, dude, I'm not even going to talk about the
Oh,
bell.
Leeds. We were talking about Leeds, weren't we? Yeah.
Leeds, yeah.
Can I date her?
So we got as far as
can I date her? Can you fucking hell?
She's quarter your age, man.
Oh God, fucking hell! So we were talking. Leeds. So he's got COVID. He can't have visitors until Sunday. But as soon as I'm able to visit, I'm going to go up and go and speak to Uni. So to Uni, fucking hell.
Yeah.
See how confusing it is for me.
This is the anticipation. This is the anticipation of Uni coming on from the second hour. You're so excited, you just can't wait.
Oh, do you know, I can't. It's about time you said something, Jim. I've been talking all night.
No, it's great. I've just had to sit here and listen, and it's been amazing because the last few weeks I've just had to keep talking and talking. But it wasn't too bad, you know. It was okay, and Robert done a good job Friday evening as well too, and so he's been keeping me company as well. So it's been pretty cool here. You know, we were chatting about also Belfield was the first topic of discussion last Friday as well too. So it's good to see Tuesday has sort of like continued on in the same way, because obviously like you were dying to get that out of you, you know. Can tell by the way you were telling.
You know, I've been ever since it was just like fucking doing me head in. Ever since it happened, I thought to myself, "Oh my God!" And there's all these people going, "Oh my God, oh, pedos!" Yeah, that's fine. I get that, but you know, the pedos should get more, not Alex Belfield getting less. That's my point. Is that pedos should get more, not Alex Belfield getting less. Let's leave that cunt there now.
Yeah,
it's fucking. Well, he's. I wonder if he's listening. Good evening to you, Alex Belfield, if you're listening from prison. How is it? How's your ops?
It's possible.
Did you get to take some lube in with you?
I have some wet lube here, but so just for the bicycle.
That's exactly what he is now, though, isn't it? He's a fucking bicycle.
Yeah, for sure. You know, they'll have him dressed up like a little bicycle from Essex. You know, a girl with pigtails.
My daughter's gonna fucking kick fuck out of me when she sees me again. She's going, "I don't fucking dad, you cunt." Anyway, don't let them inject him with anything. I don't know. Oh, right, okay. We're talking about Super Leeds now. You know that's. I don't think he'd allow him anyway. He's. But I tell you, I did go. I went last Wednesday. Do you know what I should be doing? What? I should be wearing my t-shirt, shouldn't I? He bought me a t-shirt for my birthday, but my birthday were back in April, so it'd been there for a while. And when I took his missus home and dropped her off, she brought the t-shirt out to me, and he brought me a fucking beautiful pink S Club 7 t-shirt, but he could only get it from America. I mean, why could you only get S Club 7 t-shirts in America? I mean, for God's sake.
It's a wonder it wasn't China.
Yeah. No, it was America. It came from America. So, yeah, I should have put it on tonight, but I didn't. But I'll put it on for Friday's show. I'm back. I'm here Friday, by the way.
Yeah, wicked.
So
wicked.
I'm here Friday and next Tuesday as well. So go and change, for fuck's sake, Spanish chicken. I will do. I'll get my missus to throw it down when she goes to bed. But yeah. He's Super Leeds. It's, you know, he's still very, very fucking ill, really, really fucking ill. So just keep your prayers up for him, because you know we do like to look after our own here, and he's certainly one of our own super leads. So Uni's going to come on. Uni's been doing. Sorry, go on.
It's a difficult situation watching your friend getting into trouble like that, especially with the liver, especially if the liver is really shot. Like, you know, can a liver recover? I thought a liver was one of the organs that could actually recover.
A liver can recover, but his is beyond repair. So he'd have to have a transplant, which at the moment we're nowhere near, because obviously he needs to cut down his alcohol consumption. Although when I really listen, Leeds, if you're listening, or anybody who's listening, I don't mean any disrespect by this. I'm just sort of conveying my experience onto other people. Try to just convey the seriousness of the situation that he's in. But his liver's knackered, so he'd have to have a transplant. And are they going to give somebody a transplant he needs to do a lot of things before things can get anywhere near normal? And I unfortunately, I just don't want to I don't want to talk about it, really. It's not very easy. It's not very easy.
Another issue as well these days, and I've had to give this certain thoughts myself. If one did need a transplant, would you be willing to take, in light of people who wouldn't take the you know what?
Yeah.
Would you be willing to take an organ from somebody who did do the you know what?
No. I don't think I would. Because no. I just don't have enough faith in the medical profession. I just don't have enough of it. I don't have enough faith in medical profession. I don't think I'd have enough faith in the medical profession to even do that, you know, to even consider that. I don't think so, anyway.
See, that study from Sweden, what it found out was that within 6 hours that the mRNA had transcribed back into the DNA of the organs they were doing the experiments on. I think it was the liver organ. So it was showing like an uptake of the altered genetics in a 6 hour period in the liver cells. So, you know, if you were to accept a transplant, like from somebody who had an organ that was altered, would that affect your own genetic makeup? I mean, these are serious questions that we're going to have to get answers to at some stage, you know, because God knows what they've done. Maybe they've done nothing. Maybe it's just bloody saline solutions with a few dodgy batches going around. I don't know, but like it's a fair question, like in these weird times.
Yeah, we certainly are in weird times. And it's well, we've just had yesterday the fucking longest day in fucking recorded history, because it was just like there were just nothing to do. Shops were closed. TV, even on fucking adult channel, it had fucking Queen's funeral on it. You know what I mean? It was just fucking weird. It was just some fucking weird thing. It's just been a weird time.
The funeral, was it yesterday? Was it?
Yeah, allegedly. Even though she weren't there, we know she weren't there, weren't she? She's not fucking been there for years.
No, there's a possibility that she's been gone for some time. I mean, the speculation was running around about that, like, for months now, that she was already on the barge to the other side, to Stover-Core, the barge to Stover-Core.
Well, I saw on Sky News, there was somebody that said that something about her lying in state like she has been for the last 4 years. Now, I don't know whether that were a slip of the tongue and they meant last 4 days and it came out as years, but I know somebody picked up on it pretty quickly, and said, you know, like she's been lying in state for the last 4 years, so she's probably been dead as long as my leg.
Yeah, I've heard that story going around as well too, and about it getting slipped out. I can't remember, like it was obviously in the last week or so, but yeah, interesting. I mean, a lot of people making lots of slips lately, like, and especially that, like, that one is doing the rounds, that's given the warning about the 24th of September. The German legislator who said, like, the 24th of September will be the day everyone will remember where they were, right? Now, the story is that, like, it was only a slip up, right? It was a slip of the tongue, because it was a statement he made back in last February 28th. So, and he said everybody will remember where they were on the 24th of February. So if it was the 24th of February, it meant that was the start of the war. But
Right.
I tell you what, the war is insignificant. The war in Ukraine, insignificant. I don't remember what the hell I was doing. I remember where I was on 911, but that's for the 24th of February. No, haven't a clue what I was doing. It's not that memorable, you know. So did he really mean 24th of September? I don't know. It's an odd one, like, but it's another one of these ones that's doing the rounds with this so-called slip mate, you know.
Yeah, I found this as well. I found this. This is pretty. This always happens. I don't even fucking know why. I don't even know where we take notice of this, but we do, and we should. But here we go. Let me share this. Here we go. There we go. That's the Queen. What is this fucking going on?
Is that the palace burning?
Anyway, it predicts the death of the Queen. Fucking hell, apparently, as 2022. So
right.
That's from The Simpsons.
And The Simpsons, well, look, it'd be easy enough to predict the death of the Queen anyway, because she's.
But they actually got the date right. Not the exact date, but the year. So it said 26 to 2022. Right. 1926 to 2022. So, you know, that's what it says. I don't know.
Simpsons do seem to have a track record.
Yes, they do, don't they? Matt Groening is a fucking time traveler, apparently. Have you seen that? Have you seen that one? Have you seen that video? Matt Groening is a time traveler.
No.
Oh, I think we're on fucking. Hang on. Time traveler. Oh wait. Simpsons creator Donald Trump. See, they were all that Trump stuff, weren't they, as well? Remember him going down that thing and waving?
Yeah, and the son was allegedly time traveling. I had lots of weird stories coming out this last 2 years, and it's as I say, I don't pass too much heat on them, like, but still, like, you know, you just never know.
They're interesting to watch, though, aren't they? They are interesting to watch, and that's the whole point of it: is to consume it and not to make it rule you. Don't let it rule you, but consume it anyway, and take in that knowledge that's there. And if it's fucking turns out to be bullshit knowledge, it don't, you know, just chuck it away.
Yeah, as I say, a lot of the stuff I do find along just gets chucked fairly quick now. So I have to say, I'm a little less tolerant of bullshit now. 25 years on, you know. Years ago, I used to go down so many fucking rabbit holes, and I'd be down at the bottom and I wouldn't know how to get back out, you know. It's like, so I've had to learn how to filter what I take in.
Yeah. Oh, you're right, love. Yeah. Oh, I've got it here. Here we go. Here's my S Club 7 t-shirt that Super Leagues bought me from America. And it come from America.
That's a small American size, I imagine.
Oh, it says, hang on, extra large. Let's have a go.
Right, right. I remember the last pair of, you know, the way mums always have this habit of buying you socks and underpants, right? And she bought me some underpants from America, and it was kind of medium, like, but you know what? You get into them, like, and you'd have to fucking tear your way out of them, like they were that big, like big, huge potato sacks, like. And these were medium Americans, so holy fuck. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Eh?
Yeah.
S Club 7. Anybody who doesn't know, I'm the biggest S Club 7 fan there ever is. I went to their final concert in Sheffield on my daughter's 18th birthday, who you just spoke to, by the way, Emmy. My wife got me tickets for it. So on my daughter's 18th birthday, we went to see S Club 7's final show. And this is my T-shirt that Leach bought me. And he had to get it from America. I can't believe he had to get it from America. Anyway, it is a good fit as well. Thank you, Spanish Chicken. And it does look great on me. Thank you, JJ. Rab C. Holmes, they call me.
Yeah,
dear.
Spanish is saying a great fit. It's not too bad. I would have expected an extra large American to sort of like that you and your wife and your daughter could get into at the same time and still look small in it.
I've got mine on.
I think that. Oh, come on then. Come and show us.
What's this? Love hurts.
I bought that for Danielle last week. It's a, what's it called?
It's an oversized fleece hoodie.
It's an oversized fleece hoodie.
Oh, cool.
Don't bend over, love. Everyone will see your ass. That's for me. There ain't no party like an S Club party. Oh dear. Robert, yeah. Robert Smith said she'd die on 7th September in 2012, only 10 years late. Oh, brilliant. Shall we get Uni on then? Or is what do you want? Do you want to add out first before we get Uni on?
I'll try add him in there, Chair, and we can decide if we unmute him or not.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll decide if we're going to mute him. I'm thinking about bringing him in on team. I've seen some of his good work, and I think he's back ready to be brought in on team. What do you reckon?
I think so. I think he's finding his way. There's just one or two topics he's going to have to be careful of, I believe, just if he's going to cover them like kind of like delicately, perhaps. But I think for the most part, his 9/11 one there on Saturday night was fascinating. Although we just didn't talk about 9/11, we chatted about everything with this this dude. What's his name? Thermobaric or thermobaric.
Thermal detonator.
Thermal detonator, yeah.
See, I remember. You don't, I do.
Yeah, he was like, you were supposed to, Uni was trying to get you to have him on, like, you know, but I highly recommend you get him on, like, because he just doesn't talk about 9/11, you know, the amount of areas that we went to and we covered last Saturday night, I was impressed with him, like, you know, a guy that you can really have a chat with, like, you know, and chill out and just shoot the breeze about any topic goes, you know, and do 9/11 because we kept on going back to it from at points, like, you know, but like it was just it was interesting the way the conversation meandered on current affairs and conspiracies in general, history, you name it, like, you know. So recommend him.
Good man. Robert asked me what's my favorite S Club 7 film record. He said his is Don't Stop Moving. That's my favorite record as well. My favorite S Club record is Don't Stop Moving. So anybody, you fucking listen to that anytime and you just listen to it and actually listen to it will make you happy, no matter what's going on in your life. Unless, of course, you've just been fucking cut in half by a fucking great big massive fucking big saw or something. Taylor! Hey. He's put his own real name on. Look at him. He's getting more and more professional by the day. How you doing, mate?
Professional? You're the guy that took his freaking shirt off live on there.
At least didn't get me Wangerat, did I? Like you did on that show that time for dinner.
That was off air.
That's completely stopped, bollock naked, and boom, boom, boom.
That's our uni.
Yeah. What?
I said, that's our uni.
How you doing,
Yeah,
Taylor?
Jason.
How's it going, mate?
Oh, fine about you.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't like fucking Alex Belfield though. But I don't mind him actually. I feel a bit sorry for him now he's in prison because he's fucking probably got a really, really big sphincter.
Plenty of lube he's going to need for his prison.
Although he probably had a big sphincter anyway. So anyway,
So far better than fucking Alex Jones.
What's up with Alex?
Oh, a lag. No, I'm just saying that I would much rather watch Alex Belfield than fucking Alex Jones. That's all.
Okay. Well, fair enough. You watch Alex Belfield then. If you want to watch Alex
No,
Belfield,
I'm not saying that I watch it.
No, shush it. You'll love that anyway. It's because his campness. That's what you'll love about him. Oh. And you know what? Somebody, when he got into his cell on first day, somebody else had said to him, his fucking cellmate had said to him, "I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it."
Oh yeah, just
dear.
Yeah, Jason, did you watch any of that? Any of the interview?
I've not watched it now because it was like 7 hours, and I've got fucking better things to do. Like
Jason, I kept telling you to fucking not to go to bed.
Don't go to bed for 7 hours, Jay.
I'm not going to go to bed, am I? I weren't in bed. It was just that it's 7 hours. How can I do it? How can I stop up like till fuck all o'clock in the morning when you might or might not get a guest on? I didn't listen, but I will have a listen if I can be asked.
Yeah, you need to edit it out so Uni sort of just the interview is in the video. Do that, and don't be making people search like crazy through the
Here's the thing. I can't. From my knowledge, I cannot actually edit the video, like trim it or anything like that. It won't let me. I went into YouTube Edit, and it doesn't let me. It says it's too long to do that.
Okay, I'll tell you what then. What was what was the conversation about?
Well, what I can do is I can provide the exact time that it comes on, and then put the exact time.
I didn't ask that, did I? I said, what was the conversation about?
Well, it's just like Jimmy said. We were talking about many different topics. We were talking about. I initially wanted to get him on to talk about 9/11, but we ended up derailing to other topics. We brought up Ukraine. We brought up Richard Gage. We brought up other things like we mentioned a lot of things about the Middle East as well. Talked about.
Okay, so I want to ask you this, right? You Taylor. I'm going to call you Taylor now because you've written it on your name. Taylor, what did you learn that you didn't know before?
Oh, I learned plenty of things that I did not know before.
Well, then tell me one then.
Well, first of all, that Joe Biden is one of the key figures in on 9/11.
Okay, what were he doing?
Well, for one, he was the one that tried to get the planes up in the air on the 13th, and which almost caused dozens and dozens more hijackings. Which
whoa. Right, so he tried to get the plane because there were no fly after 9/11, right? September 11, 2001. They shut down all airspace around the world, really. Shut down all the airspace, and nobody was flying. Okay, so Joe Biden, 3 days later, tried to get the no-fly thing lifted so that then again commercial aircraft could roll. Right?
Yeah.
Is that's what you're saying? And have you confirmed that from another source, or is it just from this guy?
No, I have confirmed it. There was many more attempted hijackings. Thankfully, many of these people, all these people were caught and taken down before that was able to happen. Yeah. Also, there was a lot. It was a long conversation. It literally, Jimmy, how long did we talk to him for? I think it was like around maybe 4 hours or so, maybe like 3 hours at
Try
the very
7.
least.
Well,
No,
it could have
I'm talking about with him. He wasn't on the whole time.
It could have been because I joined you before the first hour ended. Like you were well into the first hour, and I must have been on then for an hour, and then he arrived. So, God, yeah, we could have talked easily 3 or 4 hours then. Bloody hell.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of stuff, and We talked about the Alex Jones case. We talked about there's so
What
much.
about the Alex Jones case? Give me a dibs on that. What about the Alex Jones case?
Well, all I can really say is that this case is really bringing out how much of a freaking piece of trash that man is.
What case though? What case?
The Sandy Hook one.
The Sandy Hook one. Okay.
Yeah, the Sandy Hook case.
So that's bringing out what a piece of trash he is.
Yeah, it's really showing it's really showing his character to the world.
But we already knew his character, didn't we?
I know. I'm talking about the hardcore Alex Jones followers. Like,
right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, those kind of people. Yeah. Like I said,
we did mention the finances as well too, which came out in that particular court case.
Yep.
Like this trail of bank accounts that lead back to one bank account in the Cayman Islands that nobody can access still, which is his private personal, and all the other bank accounts appear to be sort of like funding this one sole Cayman Island account. So very, very dodgy money trail there. Can't seem to be audited.
Yep, exactly. He's yeah, it's a really showing case, honestly. To anyone who is still a follower of Alex Jones, which I've never liked the cunt, but many people do, and hopefully they'll stop liking him and let him get the punishment he deserves.
Yeah.
So who thinks that Taylor should become our next one, the next member of the Raconteurs crew? We've got myself, we've got Jimmy, and we've got Robert. And I think Taylor's starting now to prove himself that he can do this sort of thing, and he can be a valuable asset to this, I believe. And
I think so.
And I think all that ridicule that we've ever given you has only been encouragement to, and you've took that as that.
I mean, fair enough. I guess you can see it as that. It's more of I was actually lucky enough to actually get people on that would actually respond to me, because I've actually messaged quite a few people and a lot of them don't respond. Like we just or they say that they'll try to they'll get to me, but they end up not responding again. It's
listen, mate, there's no wrong with that. I get invitations to shows all the time, and I never ever respond. So it's only good people that don't respond.
I was just going to ask Uni there, when they don't respond, do you actually sort of like give them a follow-up just in case they might have seen it and forgotten about it? So you would do a follow-up as well, would you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
because
great.
I understand, like, these people get a lot of messages and all that's on a daily basis probably. So I try to message them at least a couple times to make sure that they remember my message. But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like, say for Michael Jones, I had to message him a couple times because of the fact that he was really busy, and I don't think I was actually talking to him through messages. I think it was one of his what's the right word I'm looking for? One of his you remember the guy who one of the guys that works for him, basically one of his producers,
a gopher.
What are his bitches?
Yeah, I guess you could.
See, I ain't got no bitches. See, I just have to do it myself. Pretty good stuff though. I'm gonna have a listen to it, because what I listened to, I mean, I weren't able to stay on at all very long, but what I did listen to, where it seemed like that you at least were on YouTube anyway. Yeah,
and the thing is that. I try to keep things within the realm of reality. I don't try to go off and spout random nonsense or random conspiracy theories that don't really have any real weight behind them whatsoever, that are just passed around as pure porn, essentially. There's a big difference between actual real information and just a bunch of bullshit, which is a lot of the time what we hear from people like Alex Jones, David Icke, and Christopher Boleyn, and all those kind of people.
The thing is, Taylor, is that I've been doing this for quite a long time, and sometimes you revere somebody and you do think that you do put them on a pedestal, And I'm guilty. I've been guilty of it myself. And then you interview them and you find out they're a piece of shit. And, you know, it can be quite deflating. So, you know, just keep at it. That's what you're going to do. Just keep at it and just talk to people. That's what it's all about, is talking to people. And I think you're doing a good job. I think we can welcome you in here, can't we? We can get him on here, can't we?
Absolutely. Well, one of the things which got me paying attention the other night was that he done the first hour on his own, like, and he was just pulling topics out of his hat, sort of thing, like, and following the chat. So yeah, of course it'll work here.
Well, I was only able to do it because there were actually people in the chat that were speaking, and I could respond to what they were saying. If I was by myself with no one in the chat, I would not know what to say. I would probably just be sitting there going, duh. I mean, honestly, like, because I've done that many times. I'm sure you guys have seen it as well. Like, when I've done past broadcasts, I don't have guests, and I'm just there by myself, and it doesn't really tend to go on very well. Like, for example, like, I know someone like Cookie can just go on and on and on by himself. You know, and fair play to him. I don't think I can do something like that, because it's just it's very difficult to just speak to yourself.
Yeah, of course it is. Chris Partridge says you should never meet your heroes at Raconteurs News, and that's true. You know what? I met, it were about 2003, and the company that I was working for, we were sponsoring Sheffield Wednesday. My idea, by the way. But we were sponsoring Sheffield Wednesday, and we had a box and everything. And one of our guests for one of the days was David Hurst, who played for England, played for Sheffield Wednesday, were a hero of mine for many, many years. And fucking hell, what an absolute wanker he were when I got talking to him one-on-one, and what he was doing, and what he was, absolute wanker. On the other hand, Chris Waddle were fucking great. Chris Waddle were a total brilliant bloke compared to David.
Who did he play with?
Oh, Chris Waddle.
Yeah.
He played for Sheffield Wednesday. He played for Sheffield Wednesday, right. Marseille, Tottenham, Newcastle.
Interesting.
Yeah. But he was just a fucking, because I was sat doing a quiz. We were doing a quiz before fucking game. And I thought to myself, I'm sat here with Chris Waddle. And he's looking at me and asking me about fucking football questions. What's this all about? He was great. David Hurst, fucking wanker. It was Grand National Day. All he kept fucking doing was wanting to go off and fucking bet on horses and all that sort of shit. So, yeah, he was a wanker.
Pretty mundane shit, like.
But yeah, Chris Waddle were great. Were brilliant. And but yeah, you should never meet your heroes. Really, keep them as heroes. Keep them there in your head as heroes. Because they'll do more good there than they will do with fucking talking to them.
Here's the thing about that, about the whole heroes thing, is if they're a famous person, if they're actually someone that's well known and gets like thousands and thousands or hundreds of thousands, even millions of followers, and makes a ton of money, then they're definitely, then yeah, 99% of the time they are going to be a piece of trash, because those are the people that are sold out, because otherwise they wouldn't be getting to where they are. It's the people that have a hard time getting anywhere, the ones that actually freaking put in like good work and don't go and beg you for money and don't have freaking hundreds of thousands of followers. Those are the people that actually are the ones that you should be looking to. And I'm not saying all of them, but you also have to be careful and look at their work, see if what they're saying actually makes some damn sense. If it sounds like a bunch of nonsense fear porn, or if it's something you've heard out of Alex Jones, then it's most likely just a bunch of nonsense. I usually have a pretty good. I'm usually pretty good at being able to spot shills and disgusting people. Like, I don't mean to brag, but I tend to have a decent time of being able to spot people that are actually worth listening to and worth speaking to. That's just because I've been doing this for because I've been in this movement for, well, I mean, you can call it a movement, whatever you want to call it. I've been in this community for a good 5 years now, and for the most part, I haven't really run into people who I've come across who I've thought later is just like, maybe this person really is kind of just trash. because like your big ones like Alex Jones, I knew right from the start, trash, freaking all that stuff. The only one that I sort of have a different view on now from when I started is James Corbett. I used to really like him, but as I started watching him more and more, I realized just how much of a prick he was. And then
what did I tell you right at the very start when you kept bringing him up? What did I tell you? He's a fucking prick. And what did you do? No, oh, no.
Well, he has good. Well, I can't deny he has some good information. But it's but even when
he's a prick. Listen, he's a prick. He's always been a prick. Right? He's been a prick longer than you've been an itch in your daddy's pants. Right? That's how long he's been a prick. He's been crap since right at the beginning. I tell you all about this stuff, but that's what you do, innit? With your kids, you have to let them make their own mistakes. But yeah, you seem to have worked that out. That's pretty cool.
I heard he's making that Corbett guy. I heard he's making somewhere between $5,000 and $6,000 a week, like just going over that like fear porn narrative, like and that anger buzz, like just whinging and whining about the topic of the day, like
No, he does like this. He does it like this. Hang on.
Steve Corbett with the Corbett Report. You work with you on 9/11. You're seeing it on JFK.
Fuck you.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to answer Lion's Share real quick. Yes, it's Corbett Report on YouTube. Yeah, that's the same guy. Yeah.
Yes, that is the Corbett Report. Look, I told you. Listen, I knew that were crap in fucking 1996 or whatever. But anyway, you've got to learn for yourself. You've got to know yourself. The only way is to know for yourself, isn't it? You can't take anybody's word for anything. You have to know yourself. You have to find it out for yourself.
But I will give him one thing. He's very well polished. Like, when he goes
in, you're going to give him AIDS, aren't you? Irish AIDS. I'm going to give you Irish AIDS. Oh, by the way, James Corbett over there, come on over here. Come on, give us go on. Get this Irish AIDS. Sorry, go on, Jim.
He just he puts his data together really well. I like the way he has it all laid out. He knows what he's talking about. He comes in, he presents his fucking show, and he does actually go quite in deep into articles and cross references them and stuff like that. So he does a good job, but he's not doing anything. He's not doing anything constructive, like only whinging and whining about whatever topic he's on about, like just telling everybody, "Isn't this so bad? It's really fucking bad, this, isn't it?"
I like Bill Gates. Like he did a good Bill Gates documentary. That was a really good one.
Who did? James Corbett?
Yeah, he did a Bill Gates documentary. It was right when this COVID thing started, and it was very good. Honestly, it was a very good documentary. It was in separate parts, but
people can do good work. But you've got to understand is that take them as a whole thing rather than the work it's in its individual places. I don't like James Corbett. I don't fucking like James Corbett.
I think the bigger question to answer is who the fuck is he working for? Is he a Russian asset or is he a Western asset? It's getting really hard to tell anymore these days which fucking side these cunts are on. Because clearly they're all part of the misinformation war. They'll give you a certain amount of information, but they'll never touch on the real core topics. They'll only go so fucking far. But at the same time, they will give you good information. And they'll give you a sort of like a good idea how you should research information. And that's one of the things I like about him, because he's showing his audience, well, this is how deep you got to go looking into these different topics to extract the necessary data out of it, to be able to come to some really firm conclusions. So he's not going to talk about the real big picture, only just these small non-topics, which are covering the perimeter of the problem itself. He won't talk about Israel.
Oh, absolutely not. Correction. He does. He will mention once in a blue moon, but he'll never talk about. I don't think I've ever heard him mention the term Zionism. And one key thing that I've learned that really is an easy way to be able to tell if someone is trash or not as if they're freaking, as if they believe in the Holocaust garbage. That's and they'd say the mainstream World War II nonsense. If they
all right. Well, let's leave that there,
yeah.
shall we? Since we're on the
Park
fucking.
that.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
just. I'm just saying that's usually the way.
I'm
That's
sorry,
usually-
Jay. I'm sorry, Jay. I done that on purpose.
It's all right. Listen, I just want to park it. Because we're still on that 90-day thing. So if we get fucked again, that's it. We've got 2 weeks
Yeah.
off. So that's
Yeah,
all. That's the only reason. We'll have his own platform soon, Uni, and you can go fucking whatever you say, whatever you like. So So everybody, we are going to be moving from YouTube onto the website, and the website is you just come on and you'll be able to watch like you can on here. I'm going to get a chat room and everything. It's all been done. It's all being done as we speak, in it, Jim.
Well, it's like the bits and pieces are there to make it happen. Like it's just a matter of just getting it displayed on a page, at the moment.
By the way,
but we will absolutely have total control over every aspect of it, like from what streaming system we use to storing our files if we want to go that far, So we have some decent options there in the background, which are relatively sort of like for peanuts, like in a sense, like that server's been sitting there doing nothing for nearly 7 years, only just serving a web page. That's all it's been doing, and and the web page is dead years ago. It's a good opportunity for me to put some good use. So let's see what we can make it.
Well, that's what's going to be on, and when we get to that, Taylor, because listen, we really do. The thing is that when I shut you down, it's not because I'm shutting you down because I don't agree with what you're saying. It's because I just don't want us to lose what we've got at the moment. There'll be no censorship on the when we've got streaming online, and we want to get a chat room in there as well. So it's all going to be fucking free. So don't anybody who says you're going to have I'm not. I'm going to ask for donations when it comes to Christmas and when it's time to pay everything. I'm going to ask for donations. If I don't get them, I'll just pay myself. So it's as simple as that.
Yeah, you won't be alone. I'll be helping with that, Jay, as well. So.
But by the way, if you have a channel on say Rumble or whatever, if you give me the account information, allow me to be able to post videos. I've backed up a lot of your old videos, and I can repost them onto there.
Right. Okay. I'll set up a Rumble account then, so that people can do that.
Yeah.
So that you can do that. And then people will have to see them there.
We'll need that Rumble in place, Jay, just in case there's any teething issues with providing raw streaming media from a server, So I'm not sure what it's capable of in that respect yet. It might need an upgrade. So there'll be some hiccups. So a Rumble would be an excellent idea, even long term, because Rumble doesn't seem like it's too bad, even though it is run by some dude out of Canada that's got some questionable origins, that site. So we should also be ready to let Rumble go at a moment's notice. I mean, there is Odyssey, but I'm just not sure it's up to the task just yet. I do have problems.
The streaming's probably a bit fucking shit at the moment, isn't it?
It's a bit buggy. I find it a bit buggy, especially trying to tune into live streams, and it just seems to have some issues there behind the scenes. So maybe they'll work on it with time. They probably will. It's probably a work in progress anyway. As it, it's a massive project like that Odyssey. It's no easy task trying to come up with alternatives to the likes of YouTube, who seem to have a monopoly on the whole shebang, and you don't want to lose your YouTube either, because it's a really useful. If anybody's going to find you, they'll find you on YouTube probably quicker than anywhere else.
There's Wishfix saying, "Why don't you do an Alex Belfield style phone-in show?" Well, we could do a phone-in show. Anyone who wants to phone in, just tell me you want to phone in, and you can phone in. It's no problem at all. We like that, don't we? Interaction and stuff.
Well, I mean, we had baby Jason in there earlier on, calling in from an undisclosed location. So this has been a call-in show in a sense.
Yeah. I did. Oh, yeah. Fucking baby Jason. Who called him that?
Uni's just after calling in there as well. Look.
So who's baby Jason?
little Emmy, is it? Or
Oh, Emmy, yeah, sorry, yeah, Emmy, yeah, me,
yeah.
yeah, YouTube is the battlefield. Yeah, it is the battlefield. It is the battlefield. We've got to be on there, and
We've
so
got
we
to be
need to
maintaining
preserve that as much as possible.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea to be doing when we get everything sorted out, and it's probably going to take a bit of time. We're probably looking at New Year before everything's all sorted, but we'll probably do it first hour on YouTube and switching over and then being uncensored on the website.
Yeah.
So that'll be the. I think that's going to be the good thing about this, and it certainly is going to be happening. So keep it tuned here on Raconteurs News. It's Jimmy Hagan, Taylor Bumler, and Jason. We just need one more for the full set, and we'll have all four Raconteurs. I think because we're gonna drag Taylor in, aren't we? What do you reckon?
I could see that happening. Yeah, definitely. I'm not a tea leaf reader at all, but there's something brewing.
Yeah, definitely.
Wait, you forgot Denny.
I didn't forget Denny. I'd never forget Denny. Nobody can fucking forget Denny. He makes sure nobody can forget him. Never forget Denny. Well, Denny don't want a show though, does he? You want to do a show, don't you?
Well, of course.
Yeah, there you go then. So you're a presenter. I know Denny's another part of it. There's loads of people that are part of this, but there's only people that want to present their own shows. A few people like myself, Jimmy, you, and Robert. So Denny don't want to present his own show, but he's a big part of the Raconteurs News, just like everybody else is who's in chat room. So yeah. So what we're talking about now, Taylor? Tell us something. Tell us something good. Tell us something that's non-funeral related, that doesn't involve a queue. To go and fucking queue during the queue. Fucking hell.
Fucking queue, man. I can't believe how many people actually fell for that queue garbage. Like seriously. Freaking.
And you have to understand a little bit. You have to understand a little bit about England, and the monarchy is like still plays a big role for a large population of the British people, so you have to take that into account. Like the monarchy has always had a fairly strong grip here in England, and as we've seen there during the funerals and the removals and people getting arrested for having anti-monarchy signs. And I thought that was very weird, that to be arresting people with their who were opposed to the monarchy. I don't think
that was all set up.
You reckon? Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Right, somebody holds up a fucking thing, they get arrested, it's in papers everywhere.
Yeah.
Right, it's all set up. Don't do it.
Control the narrative.
It's all that works.
Control the narrative, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nobody was doing it because I look, I've got fucking, I hate the fucking royal. I don't hate them because I don't hate anybody. But the royal family to me, it's another thing. It's over there. It's fucking something else, right?
Yeah.
And so. Yeah, but I wouldn't stand there with a sign at a funeral because, I mean, why would you? It's just, it's evocative. You're just trying to invoke a response from people. And it's just counterproductive because it's going to, inevitably, your cause is going to be damaged by it. Because there's still people indoctrinated in it and still think that the Queen is rightfully the heir and what have you, and still fucking listening.
There's no way she's German. No way.
It's just over there. So going up and holding that sign up, that was just so that people knew. Don't do that, right? Because you're going to get in fucking bother. Whereas anybody who really, really is anti-royalist, which I am, I don't think there should be a royal family. But that said, they're all over there. I think they're all fucking weirdos and whatever, and they're not to do with me. So I'm not going to go and visibly fucking protest against them. You know what I mean? It's like me protesting against. It's like I don't fucking. What were it one time? Yeah, there was this fucking gay march or gay pride or whatever, and somebody said to me, they need to go out and be proud to be gay. And I said, well, I'm not stood outside at fucking road holding my fucking leg up at people and going, now then, you two-legged bastards, and fucking, now then, there's fucking one-legged people about, fucking two-legged bastards, you don't give a fuck. It's just not, just don't even Why? It's the same as, no, fuck, it's not my, lone voice. You might as well not. It was set up. Nobody's doing that. Fucking weirdness.
Yeah,
That
we had
chip
a
shop.
similar.
Remember that chip shop? There were a chip shop that had fucking that put a thing up when Queen had died,
yeah.
an anti-royal
yeah.
thing, open window,
Yeah.
and then got window smashed. I mean, that's what's going to happen, innit, to your window. You put that
Yeah.
up, right? You know, if you're if you're awake and you're aware of what's going on around you, you know that there's fucking idiots everywhere. So don't poke them with sticks. Just fucking shut your fucking mouth. That's all you've got to do. But no, these people have put this thing up and then fucking window gets smashed and then, yeah, don't be anti-royal. What it is. God, fucking set up. Jesus Christ.
Did you see there during the week also, I think the Madeleine McCann case, do you remember that there was a case, a defamation case at the European Court of Human Rights? I'll just read a bit of it. Jerry and Kate McCann, the parents of the mystery. Well, the case was heard by the European Court of Human Rights after the McCanns appealed a 2017 decision by the Portuguese Supreme Court overruling a decision in their favour when they had been made by an inferior court in the country. This is all related to this. Remember the police officer who was investigating the case over there, and he wrote a book about the case and how they were actually they were sort of, he was implicating them in the case basically. But let's see, what's his name? Carlo Armal had claimed that in a book he wrote about his involvement in the search for the little girl called Truth of the Lie, which is the name of his book, that the McCanns were involved in Madeleine's mysterious disappearance. Now, in their case before the European Court of Human Rights, the McCanns had argued Article 8, which is the right to respect for private and family life of the European Convention of Human Rights, and made arguments related to Article 6, right to a fair trial, saying that the information had deprived them of their right to their good name and their presumption of innocence before the law. So basically, this defamation case that was in the background there. I don't know if you'd heard anything at all about before this now, but that's a major loss for them. Like, that's pretty damning now in my mind. They don't have a case, and
so who were they the case against? The defamation
case. The case was against the Portuguese police officer who was investigating.
Right. Okay. I remember him. He wrote that book, didn't he? Yeah. The truth behind the lie, or something like that.
Exactly. Exactly. So, so basically, they've lost this case, and wow, that's a big one.
Again, it's going to be another quiet one. Sorry, Taylor, I muted you because there was some noise coming from your mic and you weren't there. So
yeah, no problem.
Okay. I saw about that. Richard D. Hall did a good thing on Pride to Lose to the Madeleine McCann case. I mean, these are all cases these are all things that you don't think are connected, but they all are. If they're in mainstream media, if they're really big in mainstream media, then they're all connected. And this Madeleine McCann thing is mental. And that guy who wrote that book, that Portuguese police officer, I think it was quite a high-ranking police officer. It wasn't just like a DC that said, I decided to write a book afterwards.
Yeah, no.
So the fact that they've lost that defamation case is, it's big news. Well, it should be anyway.
It should be but everybody's busy with the Queen at the moment, so a lot of stories are sort of like not being seen at all or not being covered. There was another case there. There was another review of I don't know if you know much about the King Cora. I'm not going to cover it now in depth tonight, but we can sort of tie this into McCann case maybe Friday, where the King Cora boys, it was a home for boys who had been orphaned or whatever, care home for boys, and it's been entrenched in scandals going back to the 70s with pedophilia and very, very high-ranking names, including ministers and political parties, the RUC, MI5, MI6, MPs in Parliament. Like it's a really, really dirty case, and maybe we can cover it on Friday. When it was too big and in depth now for me to go through it when I came across it this evening. So, but
Watson,
it does tie in with this McCann story, I believe. Yes,
sorry, there's some fucking speculation. These conspiracy theorists in this fucking room are saying, has anyone seen Watson? Well, you've just seen him bottom corner of your room. Come here, Watson. Watson, come here. Come here. There he is. There he is. See him in right in bottom corner. Bottom right hand corner. Come here. Come here, darling. Look at you. Oh, dear. Oh, look at it. You think I've hurt you?
You'd think butter wouldn't melt, wouldn't you?
Conspiracy theorists. You lot. I love my dog. I fucking never do out to him. Here he is.
Yeah. And he looks like butter wouldn't melt in his mouth, Jay. I've never seen such an innocent looking face before.
Oh, he's such a good boy. He is such a good boy. Oh. Yeah, so there must be a load of stuff coming out. Is there out else? Because I've not even been watching Queen's funeral. So looking or any Queen's coverage of Queen's death, I don't know what do you do? I mean, she died, and that was it. I mean, if that's to be believed, then she died, and that's it. I mean, how much coverage can you do? But they seem to have fucking rinsed it for every fucking drop they can get. So what else has been coming out that we've not heard of?
Oh, there's a pile of stuff. There's loads of stuff happening in Europe, for example. There's a pile happening in Germany. Like, I should have been a bit more prepared now this evening, but I'll tell you what, there was an interesting story coming out of Germany. I'll see if I can get it back. It was from last week's, and I got to talk a bit about it on the after show, and it really should have been out on the main show, and about like Germany rearming. And I think we've talked about it before. Here we go here. So we had the Olaf Scholz, who's the Chancellor of Germany, as we know, and he's saying the armed forces must be the best equipped in Europe, Scholz says. So German Chancellor Olaf Scholz on Friday once more stressed that Moscow's invasion of Ukraine was a turning point in European history, right? Underlining the importance of Germany's armed forces in the new situation, right? He said, Russian President Vladimir Putin was trying to redraw borders and the aim of making Russia an imperial power, blah, 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 blah. So he was speaking on the second day of a 2-day conference of the German armed forces, and he was just basically saying that like Germany basically has to become the best armed country in Europe, and he wants a very, very strong military, and Germany to be playing a central role in the defense of Europe, right? So what are they getting ready for? We're also seeing in the last couple of days too, there's an attempt going on now in EU in Brussels to remove the veto rights of countries. You know, I don't have enough time to get into all these stories today because there's stories that actually are affecting Poland, Hungary, and anyone who's a small nation and doesn't have a much of a voice in Brussels at the EU Parliament. You know, so if they attempt to remove this veto, this is probably like, this appears to me to be some sort of like a power grab going on. So they're going to everything in Europe will be dictated through the centrally from Brussels, basically, like, and nobody having any say, especially the smaller countries. Only the bigger countries will have much of a say. The likes of your Germany's, Italy, and France, the bigger blocks, the bigger voting blocks, you know. So like, and they'll do it like with a new sort of like what they call some form of democratic system or representation. What's the word I'm looking for? The representative vote, basically. Because up till now, like, countries have been able to veto. Like, if there was some part of a treaty being changed or something being introduced, countries had a veto, even small countries. So when they remove these vetoes from all the countries and just turned into a voting bloc, like, we're going to see.
Yeah, that's fucking not good. That's not democracy, is it?
No.
And for for these big countries, because you see what they're doing is they're taking away the power that these countries fucking already invoke quite a lot anyway. vetoes on certain issues that want to go through in different places. So what they're doing is they're saying we can do it, but you can't, and that makes you a second class. That's a two-tier system, even in a fucking shitocracy like fucking Europe is. But yeah, it's fucking crackers. Dr. Robert, you're here, mate. How you doing?
Hello. How you doing?
Robert.
Welcome aboard, Taylor.
Yeah. How's it going?
Yeah. Did you hear that? Did you just hear what he just said then? That's how excited he is about fucking joining the. Do you know we're joining this project?
Of course I'm excited to join. Of course I am.
We need to professionalize you up a bit more, right? Look, there's me, Jimmy, right, and Jason. Okay, we're all sitting up, right? We're all attentive. Look, there we go. Now, there we go. Yeah, there you go, you see. You've got the glasses, which is the very important thing, except Jimmy doesn't wear them. He's a naughty boy, right? But he does occasionally, right? But you've got the glasses. I think you need to get a desk, right? Get a desk. You know, sit up at a desk. It makes you sit up. And it's better for your posture as well.
I'll tell you what, email me your address and I'll send you an XL fucking Raconteurs News t-shirt.
There you go, you see. Now,
send me your address, Taylor, and I'll send you a t-shirt.
Yeah, sure.
No, but, and also, Taylor, you've got to drop the whole, like, you know, holding your blankie thing. Yeah, that's not very professional, you know?
I'm not holding a blankie. What are you talking about?
Well, you normally have your little blankie thing, you know, your little cotton thing that sometimes you hold around.
I think, Robert, I've got to say this, but I think that Taylor's already showed us that he's fucking far better than we give him credit for. So I think all this stuff is just fucking dust in the mist because he's pretty good, isn't he, Jim?
You're doing great. Yeah,
like, he's a good lad, yeah.
I agree with the boys. You know, you've really come on recently. And like Jason says, all you need to do until we get to the new platform is really just try and maybe just tone certain things down so that we don't get another swipe. You know, moving forward, it'll be the four amigos or the four musketeers, you see.
Yeah.
The four Muppeteers.
The four Muppeteers. I like that.
Right, are you doing a show tomorrow, Robert?
I am. Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't on earlier. I was making my chili con carne with my own peppers. Next year it will be my own garlic and my own onions. What else? Not my own meat, sadly. if there's going to be any about next year.
Have you not got any neighbours? No.
What's that?
Have you not got any neighbours?
Yeah, I've got neighbours. Why? Oh, to eat them, you mean, Jimmy?
Meat.
Yeah, they reckon that could be a thing of the future, don't they? You know, like cannibalism. What do they say when all hell breaks loose? How long does it take us to turn to cannibalism? 3 weeks?
Probably wouldn't take long. Depends on how long the what's left of the reserves supplies, how long they last. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
First to go will be the pets.
Turn to cannibalism in the Holodomor.
Say again,
I said, well, just look up how long it took for them to resort to cannibalism during the Holodomor.
Okay. Well, how long was it?
I don't know, but I do know that it wasn't that long. I don't know the exact time, but I knew that it wasn't that long at all. Yeah. And of course, in some places it was worse than others.
I like the idea that, by the way, of the whole phone-in thing. I thought that was great. You know, if we can do something like that. I've always said that more people need to come on the show, and I mean, there's a lot of opinion that goes on in the chat, and I think that, you know, it's not easy. It's like what Taylor was saying earlier. It's not easy, is it, Taylor? When you, it's okay if you've got someone to chat with. But when you're chatting on your own, I mean, I remember my first show, it was just quite surreal, really, having to chat on your own. I'm sure you find the same problem, Jimmy. You know, I mean, you've always got lots of stories to talk about and things.
Yeah, that's what I do. I just come on a bit prepared and just at least have a whole bunch of talking points. It helps me because my I don't naturally fit into that role where I just talk on the fly, although I can do sometimes, but it's
Yeah.
not generally. Doesn't come natural to me. So I do need to be a little bit prepared.
Yeah. How you feeling now? You feeling better now?
Yeah, a little bit off now, but still should be okay by tomorrow, hopefully. You know, I think it's all related into my back, you know, because it all seems to be hitting at the same time. So it's obviously all a symptom of the.
I'll have to send you some of my salve, Jimmy.
Oh right, yeah, cool.
No, seriously, right? Because honestly, I used to get really bad sciatica, and I don't get it anymore. I just put it on my back every day, and I don't get any sciatica or anything like that anymore. So,
okay,
you know, for me it works. I don't know. How's is it working for you, Jason? Still?
Yeah, it's cool, man. AD's really enjoying it. His shoulders a lot better with it.
Yeah, because AD had some, didn't he, as well?
Yeah, AD. I've not used it for a while because I've not needed to. But you know, whenever I've used it, it's been there for me, and it's especially when I fucking rode my scooter and I fucking had all them cuts all over my arm and shit. I kept rubbing it in that, and it was really good for that. It healed up really quickly.
Yeah, good, excellent.
So, Kamara, would you attribute that to an excellent formula, or would it be sort of like down to that mind over matter? What is it? That's word they use.
Placebo
effect.
Yeah.
No, it's good stuff. It is good stuff, man. Honestly, it is. It really is. I mean, I've got skin that like fucking tears like fucking right easy, and I get cuts and cuts. Look at that. I did from that were where were that? It was fucking some.
I remember the one with the car recently, and I tell you what, that was nasty.
It just fucking. But you know, you put some salve on it, and it heals it up, and that, and it's all good stuff. It's all really good stuff.
Yeah, I'll send you some.
People seem to bruise very, very easily, man. What is it with that?
Jimmy, can I send you stuff easily to where you are?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, well, Jim, listen. What I'm thinking about, right, is people have been talking about, and I want to get a meetup going so people can come and meet up because people have been saying it for a long time, many time, and now I think we're in a position where we can set some up perhaps before Christmas. So, would you be able to? Have you got a passport? Would you be able to jump on a plane to come over?
Well, of course, yeah.
Yeah, so you got a passport where you'd be able to come on, jump on a plane and come over.
I'm not even sure a passport is necessary between Ireland and England.
I think it
is. Maybe it is now since Brexit. I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway,
a Raconteurs Fest, are we? A Raconteurs Festival.
Well, I just want to get one point because people have been saying it for yonkers, and I just think, right, I'm going to go 1 point. Where we go? That's one day, and we'll be there. And anybody wants to come, you know. But I'd like to get Jimmy over and you up, and I'd like to get Taylor over, but we'd have to probably have a fucking GoFundMe to get Taylor's plane ticket.
Taylor hasn't even got a bloody passport properly.
Yeah, but we could. All right, well, he could get his own. You could rush to a passport if we got you a ticket, couldn't you, Taylor?
I don't even know how to get a passport.
Well, ask your mum. Your grand.
It's easy. Parachute into the north of Mexico, just south of the border.
All right, I'll tell you what.
Tell them you're a refugee.
Yeah, I'll be one of those refugees shipped off to Martha's Vineyard. Yeah. Oh no! You'll be seeing me. Fucking.
They got rid of them. They got rid of them, Taylor, within 24 hours at Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, they didn't last long, did they?
24 hours they lasted.
Oh damn! Well,
anyway, I'm going to set some up before Christmas. All I'm going to do is I'm going to set a place, and then whoever wants to come, I'm going to be there. Whoever wants to come can come. I'll send you a ticket to Jimmy, and Dr. Robert, you can.
Where we think it's near you, Jason? Near you?
No, I'm thinking like halfway, something like that, middle of England.
What?
Somewhere like Birmingham or
Birmingham. Yeah.
Wait. Question. Why can't you all just come over here?
There's a few of us, Taylor. There's one of you.
Yeah, but you guys are probably so used to seeing England. You guys have never come to the U.S. Why don't you come over here?
Yeah. Why don't you
come over here? It's much easier for you to come
Taylor,
here than
broaden your horizons.
And come here. Is it still necessary to have the you know what?
No. I don't think so.
No, that's gone.
No, it's not. It's not necessary.
Okay, cool.
No,
and if it was, there's a black market for that.
Well, they don't care anyway. You don't need to be. So listen.
But Jay,
I'm going to set up. What I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to get a map out of England. Okay. Well, Great Britain, UK, the United Kingdom, and I'm going to plant a needle somewhere, and then the closest to that, I'm going to find a place in that. This is how I'm going to do it, right? This is definitely how I'm going to do it. Right? I'm going to go like that, and I'm going to go boom, and then the closest town that's to there, I'm going to book a place, and I'm going to go and sit there. And if nobody comes, nobody comes. Right? If people want to come, they can come. I'll send you a ticket if you. I'll buy you a ticket, Jimmy, if you want to come over. Robert, Dr. Robert, it depends where it is, but if you want to come up, I'll help.
Oh, I can drive up within 2.5 hours, Jason. 3 hours, whatever.
There you go. So I'll do that, and that's what's going to happen. So
no doubt the needle will fall in Scunthorpe.
Well, if it's, I'll tell you what, there's worse places than Scunthorpe, and you know what? It's the only place with a cunt in it.
I don't know. There's a few on the screen now.
Well, I used to be on a forum, right? I used to be on a forum years ago, a Sheffield Wednesday forum, years and years ago. And what they've got this filter, right? So that if you wrote any bad words in, they came up as something else, right? So if you wrote cunt, it came up Cod Canyon, right? So whenever because we were a football forum, whenever anyone wrote Scunthorpe, it just say it'd say Scod Canyon Hope. So you did, it were a bit fucking weird. So because it replaced cunt with Cod Canyon, so it says Cod Canyon Hope. Really weird, man.
I like the idea of Scunthorpe now.
Scunthorpe, we should do now. Let's not do Scunthorpe. Anyway, listen, I'm going to stick it. Like I say, I'm going to stick a pin in. Right, I'm going to stick a pin in, and I'm going to find a place, and then I'm going to find a place close to that, a town or a village or whatever. Book a village hall or a pub or whatever. It's just a room, and I'm going to sit there and wait. And if anybody comes, they come. If they don't, they don't. I'll send you a ticket, Jimmy. I'll tell you where it is.
Somebody was asking about that the other night. Actually, I think it was last Friday night. Somebody brought it up out of the blue in the chat box about. I thought Jay was going to be doing these meetups at some. Do you remember who that was, Robert?
What's that?
Somebody was asking about the meetups last Friday night in the chat.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember who that was?
Me.
No, somebody in the chat.
It might be Bandit Buster. He's always doing it. He's always asking about him. Bandit Buster.
Is he in tonight? The Bandit.
I've not seen him now, but he'll listen to this anyway. So
no, but I've said it. I think that because it never happened before, did it? I mean, Jason, because there was wasn't there some Steam event, Jason, that was going on at the time?
Yeah, they were, and that was just that came at the very worst time that it could have come. Any other time that it were on, I would have been able to go.
Yeah,
it was just at that particular moment, I just couldn't go, and that really pissed me off. But yeah, I'm going to do one. I'm going to stick a pin in. It'll be somewhere in Midlands, right, or in it's going to be in England. So it'll be somewhere in Midlands, and I want everyone, if you can come, you can come. Could you pay my diesel money? Says Nuki Brown. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I'll stick some money in. We'll try and get some money together and stick some in. If anyone can't get, and I don't know, we'll fucking do something.
I hope your geography skills are a lot better than Liz Truss's. Hopefully you don't get the maps of England and Ukraine mixed up.
Oh, well... that's a story for another night, I think.
Please join me tomorrow. We're doing the Health Freedom Show and Raconteurs news show tomorrow, and it's going to be the subject tomorrow. The delayed subject is H2O, water. So it will be. We'll start with a dreadful tune from me as usual, and then a quick review of other past stuff that we've chatted about, and then we'll talk about some water, some health headlines, and then some terrible health jokes. Really good. And you know, I've talked about this. I think Jim and I talked about this last Friday. Maybe try and find some positive news as well, because I think, you know, it'd be good to have some positive news to have in the show as well, because everyone just talks about everything negative, you know. But just something that's a bit uplifting, maybe, you know, like a cat got pulled out of a lake or something, you know.
Yeah.
Or Jason's dog didn't bite his other leg. You know,
Alex Belfield got 5.5 years.
Alex Belfield. I'm really interested in what Jimmy said there. I didn't know that the McCanns lost the case.
Oh, yeah.
Does that mean he can counter-sue?
Mm-hmm.
I hope he bloody does. I really hope he does.
He's not going to go, is he? He's not going to. He's made enough out of that book. But
yeah, he had, Jason. You're right.
His damage. He'll get his costs all paid and everything. So
I should have got maybe I'll have a look around and see what other different types of stories from his side of it are. I don't know. I don't normally check Portuguese posts, so, or Portuguese media, like, so. We'll maybe have a look and see if there's anything else going on in the background.
Of course, they're still trying to find her anyway. They're still clinging to the hope that she's still alive, even though they killed her. But we can't say that because, you know, that's satire, by the way. YouTube, you
allegedly.
Do not ban me, YouTube. It was satire.
Isn't it a bit weird? We're coming to, I know, you know, all this conspiracy thing about the 24th, and we said it was the end of the Shemitah year, isn't it, and everything. But you've got typhoons in Japan. And you've just had an earthquake in Mexico, haven't you?
But did you know the Shemitah year is always every 7 years or something like that?
Yes. Yeah, every 7 years.
We get this all the time. Listen, I don't fucking, I'm not saying anything about the information you've said at all. It's just that when you've been at it for 20 years, you hear about all the different cycles and the 7 and 8 year cycles and the 4 year cycles and no ever fucking happens. That's the fucking, I think that's the reality is they try to keep it so that nothing ever happens. So that nothing ever significant really ever happens. And I'm not talking about a death of a queen or a fucking, nothing significant ever happens. That's actually life-changing to everybody on the planet. Nothing ever happens.
Yeah.
It's all fucking...
Jason, you're the OG, man. You've been at this for a long time, so I'll take my lead.
I've seen and I've heard it all.
My lead from you.
The thing is that we're on Telegram, and I'm in a couple of Telegram groups that I take notice of. I listen to them, and I look at it, but I see things that I was looking at 15 years ago.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Things that I was seeing for first time 15 years ago, and they're bringing it up as something brand new. Look at this! Look at this! It's a fucking, I don't know. It's a clip at World Trade Center. In fact, remember that one? Remember that? Do you remember that trip at World Trade Center 7? Where it was supposed to be front back, and then they were all explosions, and it came down.
Israeli! Oh my God!
And I knew the guy that did that. It were an obvious fucking fraud, but still people will bring it up and still post it because what they're doing is they're coming into the infancy of the new realization, the new thing that. They realise that it's not how we're fucking told it is, and they come into it, and then they fucking grasp onto anything, and I'm seeing this in all these groups. I'm seeing these groups. I'm in a group that's It's mostly sort of middle class people, you know, well-to-do, good jobs, and all this good stuff. You know, all with the kids called, you know, funny names that you
Henry and George.
Yeah,
and
all this
Georgina.
sort of stuff. Yeah, but the bringing up the stuff that I were bringing up I were reading about 10, 15 years ago, and it's as if it's new. And then they see these old. It's like now you've got fucking Mark Steele's fucking dusted off his fucking bollocks. Since COVID's brought a whole new generation in, right? And so you've got all these fucking people that are just polishing up the act a bit. Oh, I thought I were dead. I thought everyone knew I were a fucking shill. Sorry, here we go. I can dust all fucking shit off my webcam, and I can start again because there's all these new people that are here, and I can fucking say to them.
And who's the first person they fucking go
Shut
to?
up.
And do you know what, Jason, do you know what?
Sorry, Taylor.
I bet most of them are the treble jab.
They're not, though. That's the thing, is they're not.
No.
These are, particularly in one group, there's a lot of healthcare professionals, and I think what this group has done is that a lot of these healthcare professionals that didn't want to get but they didn't want it, and they weren't going to have it, and then they were sharing stories about people that had it, and the stories, you know, the people and the reasons why they weren't having it. And so I think they came together because they were in a sort of they came together because they were in a group of people that were healthcare professionals, and they had the same opinion regarding the thing that we're no longer allowed to talk about. So, you know, they all had the same opinion, so they all come together. But then they start. What happens is they get onto that, right? So let's just say, as a hypothetical, I'm a nurse, right? And then I think to myself, right, well, I don't want to have this thing, but I keep getting pressured. I get told I'm going to be sacked. And then, while this is all going on, of course you're going to be looking for people who are the same as you. And they all end up in these groups, right? So they get in these groups, and then what they become is they become like a political party, a single issue political party, right? That's what they become. It's a single issue. But then they start seeing things on the periphery, things on the outskirts. They start seeing things about 9/11. They start seeing things about flat Earth. They start seeing things about fucking all these different things, and then they become overloaded with information. It fucking drives them insane. And then they get to the point where they're posting things on these fucking Telegram groups and stuff that are really just fear porn nonsense. But they've come across it. They think they're the first person that's ever come across this, and then they have to fucking post it for all the rest of them. And all the rest of them then fall into that because they're not experienced. They've got no fucking experience or all this. So they fall into that, and they start believing all that shit, and they scare fuck out of the sentence, and they start fucking scaring the fuck out of people around them. And that's how it works. And this is how it works. What people can't do is they can't look at it and go, right, what can I? Because they've got no experience of it.
Yeah.
The only way they've got experience of dealing with problems is it's going to cost some money, or it's going to be stressful, and I'm going to have to deal with it. And that's all they can see. That's all they can see.
Do you think it's the people that have been waking up in the last couple of years?
The people that have been waking up in the last couple of years. Now you might think that this is great; it's a great awakening, that, but they've slowed us down tremendously.
Yeah.
Because there were so many people doing such good work that we could have been long far in future leaving them fuckers behind. But no, instead we've gone, because we're the sort of people that go, we don't want to leave people behind. So we'll go, we'll go back and we'll go, and we'll tell people about things.
Yeah.
You know, new people will tell them about things instead of certain people going forwards and moving on, and then there being the people at the back saying, well, there's, you know, they're usually the ones that go, well, there's fucking something wrong with this shit, but, you know, we don't know what it is, but, you know, follow this guy and follow this guy and follow this guy. But we're not doing that. We're all fucking looking back. Anybody who's doing out good is going back and dragging people in, trying to drag people in. They've got to come at their own pace. They're not going to get to the fucking place where you are from discovering that, you know, that what they've been told over the last few years is no good. You know, if you fucking tell them everything, it's just going to blow the fucking heads off, and they're just going to revert back to where they were before because it's easier, simpler. But you've got all these people that then think they've got fucking everything, and then they've got all information, and then they're posting this shit, and you're thinking, oh God, you know, you're slapping your fucking head about this stuff. But the one in particular really has been doing me head in, which has been doing me head in for a couple of years. And I think I've made this. I think I've made this point fucking quite a few times. But there's that picture of Prince Charles, King Charles, shall we call him, and Jimmy Savile and this other guy who people say is Thomas Hamilton. Well, it's not Thomas Hamilton. It's a guy from Scottish Parliament that's there. It's
the guy in the kill.
Yeah, the guy in the kill. It's not Thomas Hamilton. It's the guy. But see, that's emerged again. So now people are having to get over the hurdles that you've already got over because you looked at that and you said, no, well, I've checked that out and it's not Thomas Hamilton. It's not like Thomas Hamilton. It's a bloke who's the vice fucking Orange, fucking Dumfriesshire or some shit in Scotland. But you know what I mean? That's what it is. But people are still then posting that as fact. And because people are new to this, they don't understand that they've got to, you know, don't just take some fucking meme that comes up on thing as truth. Because, you know, it's most likely not going to be anyway. You've got to look into that. If it interests you enough, you're going to look into it. Like if you see something that says, you know, there's plenty of like International Space Station. There's plenty of footage of things that are anomalous to them being in Earth orbit and being in space and what have you. There's anomalies there, isn't there? So you can look at all that. Instead of looking at all that, you'll see one thing. And you'll then base your opinion upon that. That's what people are doing, but that's what you do when you're young and naive and you're new to something. It just happens.
Jason, that's why they all need to find Raconteurs News.
They don't need to find us, mate. No, we don't need them. No, we don't need them. No, we don't. We don't need them to make all the mistakes and then come here. Make all your mistakes and then come and talk and listen to us on Raconteurs News. And come on to us and talk to us. Don't come on to us, especially not Jimmy. You don't say
By the way,
I'll tell you one thing though. It's crazy. What's even crazier than the text messaging is ending up on a phone call with these demented people. Like I joined an Irish group there. I'm not going to mention any names, but Telegram's crawling with like loads of groups there, and they run voice chats and stuff like that where everybody from the group can pile in, and it just ends up like some chaotic mess, like, you know, with mentally deranged people like flipping out and losing their minds about the most nonsensical bullshit. Like I was trying to communicate with one of these crazy people one of the evenings, and we got on to the discussion of, he was talking about 5G, and he was talking about a certain medical intervention and the contents of that medical intervention, like that graphene stuff, right? And how when the 5G is going to activate, when it's turned on, you know, it activates this sort of like sub-molecular process that goes on deep under the skin and turns you into a walking zombie or whatever. And like when it came time to discuss a more sort of like realistic topic, like such as like a war in Ukraine, because he'd seen a picture of some people dancing in a nightclub in Ukraine, that there's no war going on there. And says, so here's this guy. He'd believe willingly in this 5G nonsense, right? And yet he'll just deny what's actually really going on the ground. Like, everybody should know something about, since they've all been flying their little Ukrainian flags for.
Well, since we've been fucking, it's not that. It's since we've been getting our fucking money. Another 2.5 billion going there to Ukraine after this fucking, because we're just. How much did we spend on fucking air? How much did we spend on Q? How much did we spend on fucking empty coffin? Well, sure, fucking festering away. Anyway, listen, let's fuck this off. It's we've gone more than 2 hours.
Yeah,
we'll go to after show.
I've put the link in already.
You put the link in. I'll put it in again.
Just before we go, I just thought I'd like give you an update. I've made contact with a possible first guest, health guest. Now, you did say though, Jason, that you might be able to get old Clive de Carl back. So maybe we can get.
I'll get Clive on. I'll get Clive on for you. No problem.
It'd be great to interview Clive de Carl. But I've also I've touched base with. Amanda Vollmer, she's called the Yummy Mummy, and she's done a book on. Sorry, Taylor, you want to say something?
No, I just want to say that name though, the Yummy Mommy.
Yeah.
all right, Taylor. Stop having a way.
Okay, Taylor.
Go on. Carry on, Robert. Nobody's laughing at you apart from him. He's fucking. It's only because he's fucking thinks his own mum is yummy.
And she's written a book on DMSO, dimethyl sulfur oxide, and its benefits. I actually read a book 5 years ago of a GP that wrote a book about DMSO, and she's just written a recent one. And she does some really good natural health stuff and etc. She's really busy. Anyway, the fact is, I sent her a message saying, "Would you like to join us?" And weeks went past, and I thought, well, she's not responded. And I got an email back from her support team saying that that she's really booked up until basically just after Christmas, but she will possibly come and do the show. Cool. Yeah. So if you know who,
mate, I'll tell you something about this, right? You'll be absolutely surprised who will come on, who will agree to come on. You'll get in touch with somebody. If you want a guest on, you'll get in touch with somebody and you'll think, there's no fucking way this cunt will come on here. Yeah. And they'll fucking go, yeah. I got that from the beginning. So, mate, you go for what you want. Yeah, she sounds good. The yummy mummy.
Yeah. If you want to get Clive on again.
I'll get you Clive on. Listen, I'll give you, when we're done, I'll send you, in fact, I'll get in touch with you.
Just get in touch with him, yeah.
But yeah, I know the woman that books him, so I can just book him. So nice and easy. Right. Anyway, we're going. It's 2 hours and 18 minutes and 05 seconds. It's been Raconteurs News on a Tuesday night. It's 20th of September. I'm going to be back on Friday. I'm going to be with my friend Jimmy. Robert will probably pop in on at some point, and look out for Taylor as well. He's going to be appearing with us on Raconteurs News and on his own as well. On
Taylor, do you do Friday?
Iron some shit out and get everything sorted and make sure that it's all good. I'll get Dave Weiss on again as well. Yeah, thanks, Spanish Chicken. I'll get Dave Weiss on again because he's always a good guest. I always like talking to Dave. Yeah, brilliant. Thanks a lot. Cheers, Jimmy.
Cheers, everyone. Cheers, all in the chat.
Cheers, Taylor. Thanks, Robert. It's been superb. Thanks to everyone who's been in the chat room, everyone who's not been in the chat room as well. We really appreciate you also. God, I don't want to. I've nearly got through this show, Anna. I've nearly got through it, Anna. I've nearly got through it without saying it. I'm not going to say it, Robert. I know you want me to say it, but I'm not going to say it. So
join me tomorrow.
Anyway, we'll see you on Friday. Dr. Robert's on tomorrow night, so and I'll be in chat room and I'll be having a look round and whatever.
Trolling from the background.
I'll be back Friday. So thanks very much. I've not said it at all. Cheers, Taylor. Cheers, Robert. Cheers, Jimmy.
Thanks
Good
to
night,
everybody. I love
Good.
you all.
Good night.
Take care now. Bye bye then.